Welcome to Wax and Comical. You throw it okay?
Yeah, I was just
Okay.
preparing.
That was Luke. He's preparing his instrument for the intro here. I'm Dane, also,
And I'm Luke, the aforementioned.
with his instrument all warmed up. That's how come he has that sultry, smooth voice coming out.
Sorry.
It doesn't work if you just do that. Then you're just making noise. You gotta, like, hit your Adam's apple
I'm
when
just
you do it.
preparing to talk about myself, because it's all about me. Are you just flicking your Adam's apple?
Yeah.
So we talk about Secret Service in this episode.
Not like the government one. Well, not the American government one. But the Mark Millar comic, which was turned into the I assume, popular movie, Kingsman, The Secret Service.
I liked it.
I very much enjoyed it. And it's getting a sequel, so I guess it was popular enough.
Yeah, at least it made some money.
It made money. We know that. At least you and I paid to see it.
As far as I remember, I could have possibly gone with someone else that paid for it.
Money in our name was given to this movie.
Money changed hands.
I paid to see it once, and I saw it with my family, and they paid for it. So money was given, double money was given in my name.
Look at you contributing to the economy.
I know. It's pretty impressive. This was before I started just drawing everyone as Wolverine. That's my new contribution to the world.
That's your shtick now.
It's my calling, I think.
One thing I want to mention about this episode is that there's a bit of a mix-up where Dane and I have an argument about what people call the main character in the comic, because it turns out we had different
totally
versions.
Right.
Well, we were.
Yeah,
You weren't wrong.
Okay,
we just had different versions of the comic.
Okay, we were both right, but I was less right because the version I was referring, or that I was using as reference, was the later edition. So you were right chronologically first.
Yeah. Basically, the character in the comic is just named Gary, and in the movie, for some reason, he has the nickname Eggsy. And so, in later releases of the comic, they occasionally...
When they put the volume out, because I did get it when it came out.
Okay.
So that when they put the volume out, they still call him Gary sometimes, but they don't even like change Gary to Eggsy. They just add the word or the name Eggsy in.
Yeah, it was in bits of dialogue that didn't have his name previously.
Yeah,
it's weird.
So it'd be like, listen, we need to go blah blah blah, and then it'll just be like, listen, Eggsy, we need to go blah blah blah.
Yeah. So I was worried I was going crazy when we were recording this because, like, I was fairly certain that I had not noticed them calling him Eggsy throughout the comic, and that, like, stood out to me.
Yeah, so they when the individual issues were released, they called him Gary, or just didn't have the Eggsy bits. And then when the volume came out, which I guess was closer to the movie's release, they just added Eggsy in like 4 or 5 times that I noticed.
Because apparently American audiences can't handle nicknames.
Who knows? America. Well, I mean, they were going to change Tetsuo's name to Travis in the Akira live-action movie.
Is that still happening?
I hope not.
Wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio involved somehow? Because he's got an Oscar now.
He was producing, I think.
So
I don't think he was going to be in it because he's very clearly in his 30s or 40s, and the main characters are teenagers.
If he shaves, he's got a pretty boyish face.
Though they were going to, at some point, they were just going with whoever, like popular male duos. It seemed like. I remember when they were,
like still, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
I'm surprised they weren't brought up, honestly, because again, these characters, keep in mind, in the manga and the anime, are 15 years old. They were looking at Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy after they had just played like friends who become enemies in X-Men. Just didn't see a problem with that.
So yeah, so that they're used to playing that exact role.
I think Garrett Hedlund was actually cast as Kaneda for a little bit, and then the whole thing got scrapped.
He's slightly younger.
Yeah, slightly. I think that something I read was like Kaneda and Tetsuo were going to be changed to brothers because we couldn't handle the idea that they're close friends. They were going to be like 30, and Kaneda was going to be like a freedom fighter who is also a doctor.
And Tetsuo is a family man who's settled down with his wife and kids.
So yeah, they were gonna just destroy the whole story. But like, why change it to Travis when you're gonna keep the name Kaneda and the movie is called Akira?
And
like, I think we can handle
brothers?
Japanese names. They were gonna be brothers.
Okay. Whatever.
And they were gonna turn Akira into like just a stock creepy Japanese horror movie kid.
So like the girl from The Ring, or
basically
the girl from The Grudge, which they're doing a crossover movie. Have you heard about that?
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
'Cause that makes sense.
Or the little boy from The Grudge.
Sure.
Because
the one that croaks.
in the anime, the one that croaks. He meows.
Or yeah, that's right.
The woman croaks because like her neck's broken or something.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't remember much of that in the movie.
I really watch those movies.
But like in the manga or in the anime, Akira isn't even there. Like he shows up in flashbacks because he's been dead the whole time.
Yeah.
And then in like the manga, he's just like he's basically so powerful that he doesn't like it's overwritten his personality, and he's just a vessel for power. But in the movie, it was gonna like I think in bits of the script that got leaked, or maybe the whole thing did. He like wanders around with like a stuffed animal, I think, and whistles Frere Jacques.
All right. That is pretty terrifying.
Yeah, but that's like he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be terrifying because of how goddamn powerful he is, not like because he's just a generic creepy kid. He's not even creepy. He's just a blank child.
He's just you know what? For some people, children are terrifying.
Children are kind of terrifying.
They're grubby little hands.
I think it's mostly all those little stories I read on the internet of people saying like the things that their children have said to them that just seem to imply ghosts, just ghosts everywhere.
Yeah, or telling them how and when they're going to die. Anyway.
Yeah,
Kingsman, Secret Service, that's the stuff we'll be talking about here.
Yeah.
Nothing we just brought up.
No, not a thing.
And I hope you enjoy the episode.
It would be nice if you did, because we worked semi-hard on it. Hard on. I said semi-hard.
Yeah, it would be kind of disappointing if it turned out that the only people listening were people that just hated it and forced themselves through it.
just rage listen. The veins are popping up on their faces and they're listening to like these fucking guys.
Just needed more fuel to hate us with. Well, if you do hate it, leave an angry comment on the YouTube page.
Yeah, it'd be pretty funny.
Because that's what it's there for.
I mean, you would really get us, man.
Really get our goat. Enjoy the show.
Yep.
See, I read the comic first, like right before the movie came out.
I read it as it was coming out.
Which wasn't that long before the movie came out either, so you know what.
Yeah, I do.
So yeah, I read the comic like shortly before the movie came out, and I thought it was good. I liked it. And then I saw the movie, and I thought it was great, and I loved it. And then just recently I went back and read the comic again, and I felt like it didn't hold up so well after watching the movie.
Yeah, well, I feel like the movies in general are like a better version of Mark Millar's comics.
Oh yeah,
it's like it's like he went back and improved it and was like, I'll just make it into a movie.
Yeah, Mark Millar does comics that are very good for adapting for movies, but then the comics themselves just don't look so great in comparison.
So I do prefer I wouldn't say I prefer the Wanted comic because it's nothing similar. I like them both very much as their own medium.
Things.
Yeah. So that's the one I can't really say, but I do like I more or less like the Kick-Ass movies more. Though I mean in general, like the comics there's more stuff in them, which is cool.
Yeah.
But the movies, like they had to make Dave likable because he was not likable in the comic. He was kind of a little dick.
I don't think they had to.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a movie about Hitler. You needed to root for the protagonist.
Yeah.
I don't root for Dave when I read the comic.
He does like writing assholes. Like, as people, not just anuses.
Bleeding anuses.
Um,
Though Eggsy wasn't, like, unlikable in the comic. He just looked terrible.
Yeah, he looked like a 40-year-old boy.
He looked older than his uncle, who was an adult.
Yeah, his uncle was much more handsome man. Yeah, I say we could basically go through the plots of both the comic and the movie at the same time, since they're still essentially the same. More or less.
I thought they were going to do the celebrity plot in the movie, because I think before it came out there was all these like different casting rumors for celebrities as themselves.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, they're doing that, and then the movie came out and it was like, oh, none of them are in this except for Mark Hamill, who wasn't playing Mark Hamill.
That's what I think the movie was missing that the comic had. Was I wish they had done a bunch of celebrity cameos.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, especially since they had Mark Hamill, they had him.
They did almost the exact same scene, except it wasn't guys asking him about Star Wars, and he was playing surprisingly good British guy.
Yeah,
like he was good at that accent.
I mean, he's a voice actor, so
that's true. Yeah, but I've heard voice actors who have played British, like American voice actors who have played British characters, and it's just a hodgepodge of accents which make no sense.
Like who? Name some names. Some fingers.
Robin Atkin Downes, that's his name.
That is.
I like him normally when he does American accents. Like he plays Travis in No More Heroes, who was just like a giant asshole but awesome. But he played Manchester Black in Superman vs. the Elite, and I guess it was supposed to be a Manchester accent, but it was just all over the place. I think there was a little bit of Irish in there too.
Well, see, to us Americans, Irish and English is the same thing.
They are wildly different. There's like 2 Irish accents, and there's like 15 English accents. And one Scottish accent.
How can you keep those straight?
Easily.
We don't all have the privilege of being from across the pond.
Shut up. Don't say that. That's stupid. That's a really dumb term. Cutesy little colloquialisms like that are retarded.
Nah.
Okay, got that essay.
So anyway, both the comic and the movie start out with an almost identical scene.
No, the movie starts with that bit where Eggsy's dad jumps on a grenade with his dumb body, and then little Eggsy,
because he's a goddamn hero,
gets the medal or whatever, and it has
I assume Colin Firth carried around in his ass for a couple of years.
Yeah, of course, but it had like a phone number on it, which isn't a phone number.
It's a number.
Yeah, but like people could have dialed that.
Was it
other people?
Was it a 7-digit?
It was 6 digits because it was the date that he died. The date that I don't remember the exact date, but it was like the date he died or the date he got the. I don't know. It was something.
Tuesday.
in numerals.
Okay. Yes, the movie does start with a flashback of the main character Eggsy, his father dying in.
His name was Gary in the movie as well, right? Eggsy's his nickname, but his name was Gary.
I think so. In the comic, he doesn't even have the nickname. It's just Gary.
I feel like he had a nickname.
Nope.
Huh, that's weird.
At least not that I remember. I could have missed some part of it, but...
Well, I've got it right here, so you keep talking, and I'm going to prove you wrong.
At least for the majority of it, he's just Gary.
Oh, that's Super Crooks.
But yeah.
By the way, where the hell is the Super Crooks movie?
On the production floor.
That script had been written before the first issue came out, and that was years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mark Hamill.
That he is. Other than that little introductory scene, the movies both start out with Mark Hamill being held for ransom, as far as he thinks.
Why the hell is Eggsy getting money to go see Battleship?
Because of the CGI.
That's fair. You know, the only reason Battleship failed was because Avengers came out.
Really?
According to the director, the director's excuse was, well, if Avengers hadn't come out, we would have made money. Did you hear? I'm sorry.
Were they number 2 in the box office, or
I doubt it.
Because yeah.
I think. Well, I just assume everything was number 2. Like everything made zero money compared to the Avengers.
Was it the first Avengers?
Yeah, first Avengers.
Okay.
That freaking Gods of Egypt just came out, and the director posted this thing on Facebook. That it was like 3 paragraphs, but the gist of it was, if you like my movies, then you can think for yourself. If you don't like my movies, then you're an idiot. It's like, people have taste.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't.
People are going to like it when you cast a bunch of white people as Egyptian gods, especially when you cast. Like, I like Gerard Butler in general, but you cannot cast him as anything other than a Scottish guy.
Well, maybe he just saw him.
He can't do a different accent.
He just saw him in 300.
Yeah, 300. He was a Greek guy with a Scottish accent.
Oh, he's Greek. That's the Middle East, right?
Actually, you know what? He does have that new movie out with Two-Face where he plays American, but you can hear Gerard Butler in there.
Doesn't he always have kind of a snarl? He's just always kind of
that's probably just maybe he had a hair lift that got healed.
Talking out the side of his mouth.
They just called Gary a poof.
Well, he shouldn't have been a poof.
Poof means gay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, just making sure. You said like you were just saying using it in a sentence to be like, I know what it means, but just like a very general sentence.
No.
Yeah, Eggsy right here.
Really?
I don't get it. If your mom doesn't like him, why doesn't she just leave, Eggsy?
Huh.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably the only time it's used or something, because I swear most of the time...
Jesus, Eggsy, I just spilled this over my fucking jeans.
Alright, well maybe it's used more often than I thought. But I'm pretty sure they call him Gary more often than that.
Yeah, probably. Because Eggsy, that doesn't even mean anything. It's not like his last name is Egerton or something. Even though the actor's last name is... it's Unwin, which I don't think is a last name. I don't think it's anything.
It's kind of a mishmash of sounds.
Hodgepodge of syllables.
So anyway.
Yeah, let's get back to this.
In the comic...
I am going to continue calling out when they say Eggsy.
I'm sure you will. In the comic, Mark Hamill is kidnapped, but it's actually Mark Hamill, as in the actor Mark Hamill. Just straight up Mark Hamill. I wonder if he talked to Mark Hamill, to get accurate dialogue. I was wondering about that. I hope he would.
Yeah, because this guy said, "What did you think of the prequels, man? Did you think they were kind of pissing on your legacy a little?" And he said, "No, they were fun movies. They're just not something I really think about, to be honest. Even Jedi was almost 30 years ago," which sounds like something he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would be like, "Oh, fuck those guys." He would just be like, "Ah, I'm the Joker."
And then he's rescued by a British secret agent who carries him away on a snowmobile, and then they go off a cliff where there's supposed to be a parachute, and it doesn't work.
Is Eggsy your boyfriend, you fucking queer? This is a quote. I'm not being disparaging to gay people.
I'm sure. They go off the cliff, and the parachute fails to deploy, and they crash and die, and Mark Hamill dies, and Mark Hamill is dead.
And then the parachute deploys.
Yeah. And the
guards
kidnappers,
nobody laugh.
Yeah. Whereas in the movie, it's a character played by Mark Hamill who gets kidnapped, and then
he joins them.
Yeah, though you don't see that right away. It just looks like he gets not even rescued, I guess. He almost gets rescued, and then his would-be rescuer just dies trying to do so.
Oh, this is it, Eggsy? The big goodbye?
Okay, well, apparently I'm just an asshole.
I think I'm being the asshole here.
So then, Eggsy, or Gary, or whatever you want to call him, both in the comic and the movie, is just this kind of... Is chav the right word? Is that what they called him over there?
Yes, he's a chav. Yes.
Okay.
Look at you, knowing words.
For those of us who aren't me, explain what a chav is.
A chav is the English equivalent of white trash.
Alright, then.
Tracksuits, and it's like
lots of chains.
Just an overbearing Cockney accent. I can't, I like Cockney accents, but this is just a different level.
So they sound to you what the rest of you sound like to us Americans.
Yeah, too British. But not too British like Hugh Grant, too British you just sound like just sickness is leaving your mouth. Like
a chimney sweep that forgot to move on when the turn of the century came around.
When people stopped needing chimney sweeps.
So Gary Eggsy
Eggsy
steals
Greg.
a car.
Let's just call him Greg.
Gregsy?
Greg. No, just Greg.
Eggy Gregsy.
Eggman.
Eggery.
I like that one.
He steals a car and gets arrested for stealing a car and crashing the car because that's the law, and that's
That
what we
scene
do.
was really fun in the movie.
Yeah, he was really
They
good at
looked
driving
like they were
backwards.
having so much fun.
Yeah.
And that dude was very mad. That accent that guy had, the guy whose car they stole, that was like, that's what chavs sound like.
Yeah, the bully.
Yeah, the bully.
Which, he wasn't even in the comic, it was just some car they stole.
I think you're supposed to be, well, yeah, he was, like, I mean, it wasn't his car in the comic, but I think he was supposed to be Big Billy.
Yeah, there was like an analog of him in the comic. It was just, they didn't
Like
introduce him that
just
early.
a big bald guy with an earring.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Clean, I think he's cross-eyed.
Mr. Clean, if like he didn't have work for a while and wasn't exercising his scrubbing arms.
Is that something you have to exercise, scrubbing?
Well, I mean, Mr. Clean's pretty buff. Like, he looks like he's been exercising something.
He's a gay guy. Gay guys like to stay in shape. Is that offensive?
I mean, there are bears that are less in shape.
Oh, I mean, like, I'd be a bear if I was gay.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think they're mostly calling him Gary now.
It's all the hair.
Not just on my head, fellas.
Anywhere but.
But.
So, in the movie, Gary is able to call his dad's army buddy, who gave him the magic medallion with numbers on it, to bail him out of jail.
Yeah, we're done calling him Eggsy.
Whereas in the comic, it's just his uncle, who I feel like it was never clear as to whether it was his mom's brother or his dad's brother.
I think it was supposed to be his mom's based on how they talk to each other.
Yeah, but like they never really, I don't think they ever said it explicitly.
Yeah, they never explicitly said, but I think it was his mom.
But either way, it's a secret agent of a special branch of what are they, like MI7 or something like that?
Something, yeah.
They're some secret service for.
Oh, I get it now.
But like not MI6 or anything like that.
MI15.
And so in both cases, it's his uncle Jack London is his name in the comic.
It's probably not his real name.
Well, it's his name's at least Jack, considering
that
Jack,
the
family calls him that. But
not London.
I would hope not. I mean, I guess Washington is not like an uncommon name here, so it's not completely out of the question. But
it's not out of the question. But who do you know that's named London?
Mark Millar character.
That is real. Someone that you've met in life.
I don't.
I know you don't, because you don't know anyone.
And what's his name in the movie?
Harry Hart.
Harry Hart, that's right.
Yeah. I don't know if that's with an E, though.
Does it matter?
Harry?
Harry.
My mom watched a few episodes of The Flash, and I still haven't really thought about it, but because I just haven't thought to listen to it when they talk. But she's convinced that they all call Barry with an E.
Okay.
That's something I felt like bringing up. Barry. Your mom's dead, Barry.
Oh. Too soon. Anyway, in either case, the now mentor of Gary decides that he would be a great Secret Service man.
Somehow.
Which, in the movie, I can get, because one of the things that the movie improved on was that they at least just have a passing mention of the fact that he was in the military at one point.
Yeah, and he dropped out.
Dropped out.
And he's, very
I guess
smart.
You can do. Yeah, he's, really smart.
He just wears hats poorly and buttons his shirts up all the way, like a white supremacist.
Steals cars.
Yeah, that's fine.
So he has, a reason to be, somewhat suitable for training. But in the comic, he's just a guy.
Yeah, he's just down on his luck, and his uncle's like, yeah, I'll help him out.
I can make him a super secret agent in, I don't know, a month. Give me a month.
I like that they do specify that it takes a while. They say, I think it'll be at least 3 years before he even gets to do anything cool.
Are you sure? I thought they said it was a few months. That they said
I think it was a few months of different things that they were talking about, 6 months just on seduction techniques or something like that.
I guess that would make more sense.
But then he gets thrown into it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I did like that they mentioned that.
They do say at one point, So he says it's not like a film or a television show where someone gets drafted and immediately knows everything. It's exactly that. That's what happens. It just, I guess...
Yeah, but as long as they said it wasn't like that, then it's cool.
It doesn't count. So yeah. Gary becomes a super spy.
Super spy.
Pretty quickly.
And he's low class, so his fellow spy trainees don't appreciate him at all.
In the comic, they're actually not too bad. They're like...
They do make fun of him that one time.
They you mean...
But then they feel bad about it when they
he
realize
overhears
that he
them?
heard. Yeah, because they have like pen communicators.
He wasn't even making fun of him. He was just like...
Yeah, that's true. He was more like, I feel bad for him because he's low class and blah blah blah. So yeah, they are much better people in the comic.
Yeah, he was pitying them, which is still kind of shitty. But like, it was more like maybe he shouldn't be here, not because I don't want him here, but because he might just literally not be cut out for it.
Yeah, so which is better than them just straight up being assholes to him.
Yeah, which was mostly just the one guy in the movie. They didn't like.
Yeah, but everybody else was like, all the other men were like his cronies.
Yeah,
and then there were like two girls that were like, "Hey, Eggsy, what's up?"
And then one immediately died.
Immediately, at the drop of a hat.
Though you find out later she didn't.
Spoilers.
So yeah, I mean, it's a very Mark Millar thing to do. I feel to take a young male between the ages of 16 and 23 and
fucking 57,
and
based on Eggsy's face.
Let's just say he lied on his birth certificate.
He's actually Jack's brother, older brother.
He just didn't realize. But to take a young guy and just kind of give him the abilities to be a superhero, like in Wanted and in Kick-Ass, it's just
superior.
I guess in Kick-Ass he did work for it, like it was his own thing that he did.
He did sit-ups.
But in Secret Service, it's like, oh, here's some people to train you. It'll only take a short while to make you a super secret agent. And in Wanted, it's like, oh, here, you're a supervillain now.
Yeah, he was just naturally good at shooting.
Of course. Wouldn't you be? If your dad was an assassin? Aren't you
I already
wrestler?
feel like I'd be naturally good at shooting, but that's just me.
I mean, I've done it enough in video games to know.
Exactly. And with Nerf guns. I'm really good at quick drawing with a Nerf gun and hitting what I'm aiming at.
Do you have a holster?
Pretty stellar. I don't.
Because I feel like that's like half the battle. Quick drawing.
You can buy holsters for Nerf guns.
I'm not surprised.
So I will have one at some point in my life, I'm sure.
I feel like it was most of the comic took place was him being trained, despite like it going pretty quickly. Like it was still not until I think really the last issue was when they finally like took action against the bad guy, right?
I think 5 and 6, because I know he dies at the end of one, or Jack dies at the end of one issue, and then it's probably issue 5 he dies at the end of.
I think so. Let's see. Yeah. 5. Yep. He dies at the end of 5. And then 6 is like I think that's the first time you see a significant amount of the bad guy is other than one small scene in the second issue
with the wedding.
Yeah.
The red wedding. I don't get that reference.
I do, but I don't care. Yeah, the scene that everyone remembers from the movie, the Freebird church fight scene, which was great.
That was like one of the best fights I've ever seen. It was like ballet. It's beautiful.
It was mostly one take, which I love. Or one shot, I don't know. When there's no edits, or at least no visible edits, it looks like it's just all one continuous shot.
Like if they edit, they basically just like go into somebody's body and pull back.
Yeah. Still, like, even if it just looks like it and it wasn't actually, that is still pretty good. But the same scene for the comic is a wedding where, 50 different couples are getting married in a group wedding because that's a thing people do.
Goddamn white people.
And basically similar to the movie where the bad guy has developed a signal, a magic signal that makes people real
the
angry.
white bad guy.
Yeah, he's a very young white man.
And Gazelle was like a giant dude, as opposed to a tiny hot woman.
I prefer the movie Gazelle because, like, it just makes more sense. Like,
because it seems like she'd be softer to kiss.
Sure, but also, like, Gazelle. It's like, oh, she's graceful and also super deadly with her magic.
Well, I think
sword feet.
Comic book Gazelle did mention how he didn't like being called Gazelle because of his funny legs, and there was the other guy who was called like Cyclops or something because he had one eye.
Yeah,
he hated that.
They all hate. It's Dr. Arnold, right? Mark Hamill's character from the movie is the bad guy in the comic.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually. Yeah, but younger. He's like a young guy in the comic.
He's 23 or 24.
Jesus, looks like present day Bill Gates.
And he decides to do a lot of murder.
He doesn't have a list from the comic either.
Not a noticeable one.
Yeah, I guess. Well, you could read it.
Mark Millar would make sure you could read it.
I read a joke the other day. How do you think the unthinkable?
With an iceberg?
And then it was a picture of Mike Tyson.
Yeah, and again, the comic and the movie are mostly the same plot lines, where the villain, Dr. Arnold, or just Mr. Valentine, I don't think he's a doctor in the movie.
Richmond.
I won't say that.
Richmond Valentine.
I don't accept that as a first name. Where the bad guy, in either case, is basically has listened too much to some global warming conspiracy theorist. Which, I'm not saying that global warming isn't happening, but this guy is, like, saying that we are about to die, like, tomorrow.
Yeah, like, we need to kill a bunch of people so that the planet can cool down, I guess. We put the dead bodies in the ocean because they act like ice, or like ice cubes.
Sure. Because, I mean, dead bodies get cold when they die, right?
Yeah, exactly. I could be a scientist.
So, it's some guy that thinks that the Earth is acting as, like, an organism where, because it has too many people on it...
Which is stupid, because it's a planet. It's made of rock.
Which is a virus, the human people's. It's global warming is like a fever. And that either we can kill a bunch of people and save the few people who survive, or Earth will kill us all.
Or we could have, like, a sweet Mad Max apocalypse.
Yeah, that went great for those people.
Yeah, you saw, like, Max survived.
Yeah, but it was really dusty, and I don't think my lungs can take that.
Worst thing that happened to him... Well, okay, it's dusty in Australia. We don't know what the rest of the world is like. You could go to, like, the Arctic. It'd be real nice. Because it's, like... It's melted enough that it's, like, it's just nice. Like, there's a breeze.
It's like just a flat 60 every day.
Yeah, but like breezy. It's great. There's no humidity.
Anyway.
Hang out with penguins.
No, they're all dead.
Well, then you get to eat penguins. I'm sure that tastes delicious.
Maybe a little gamey, but like chicken.
Poplars.
So the bad guy decides to mass murder all but like a million people. Like,
plus he like has a bunch of people at his compound.
Yeah, which in the movie is world leaders, and in the comic is like science fiction figures, actors and directors and writers that the guy just happens to be a
Mark
fan
Hamill,
of.
though.
Mark Hamill.
Also David Beckham.
Yeah, David Beckham, I guess he's a fan of him. Is he English?
So mostly, yeah, he's English.
Okay. No,
he sounds...
the bad guy.
That's a good question.
I thought he was American in the comic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's American.
I don't actually remember it mentioning.
I think he's American. He wears glasses.
Yep, he did. He did wear glasses.
I mean, what are you wearing right now?
A shirt, pants, and glasses.
And what are you?
White, pitiable,
Ginger
American.
Nut. American. Also a ginger nut.
Also that.
Ginger balls.
So their plan is to pulse that makes people angry and fight each other.
I feel like you explained it pretty well. Just with angry pulse.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Across the world to get everyone to just murder each other in a rage.
What was it in the comic? Was it just satellites?
Yeah. There wasn't a...
in the movie, it was cell phones.
Yeah. There wasn't like a dispersal method in the comic. It was just, this is what we're going to use. We've got satellites that will do it. It just
happens.
And somehow none of the world's governments will have noticed this.
Yeah.
That we are hijacking their satellites with awful,
They're busy
awful stuff.
with world stuff.
Sure.
Rape cover-ups and whatnot.
So the movie kind of balances between, like, Eggsy and his training and becoming a Secret Service man, and Valentine, the bad guy, enacting his plan and figuring out how to make everyone kill each other.
Talking hilariously.
With his lisp.
That just sounded like you had food in your mouth.
And the comic focuses more on Eggsy's training.
Yeah, he's got a lot of it, and he goes to they just drop him in South America with no clothes, some boxers and handcuffed, I think.
That's his second chance when he screws up and quits.
Oh yeah, because he steals Jack's car.
Yeah,
I think. Wait, he quits because they make fun of him, right? Not make fun of him; they pity him.
Yeah, because they think he doesn't belong, which he doesn't. Yeah, he gets taken to South America and has to find his passport and plane ticket that are in... He's just given a location, and he goes and tries to just drive up in a cop car, and is almost murdered. Which he stole.
And dressed up like the cop.
Well, I mean, obviously you can't drive a cop car dressed like a normal person.
That would be foolish.
That's going to raise suspicions. And it turns out to be this Colombian drug lord. The biggest drug
Colombian?
lord.
Did we establish that he's in Colombia, or are you just being racist?
I'm sorry, he is in the South American country of... Yep, Colombia.
Damn it, fuck. Okay.
It says he's Colombia's biggest drug baron. And he is almost murdered by the drug lord's men, but then he, instead of trying to think up some elegant plan of sneaking into the house and getting his stuff, he just comes back with some guns and murders everyone.
Yeah, because it's Colombia.
Yeah, except...
Who's going to tell him? God?
Does Eggsy murder anyone in the movie other than Valentine at the end?
Pretty sure he shoots all those henchmen. Or do you mean real people?
I guess before the henchmen. I was trying to think. In his training, it seems like they're training him to kill people, but they don't actually have him do any live exercises. But in the comic, there's this where he has to kill all the Colombians.
Yeah, I don't think he kills anyone in the movie until he starts killing.
Until he starts killing everyone. Okay. Yeah. No, actually, he did. Still the comics. Yeah, he killed some random drug dealers in the comics as well.
He definitely didn't kill a dog
for his
in
training.
the movie.
No, he did not.
Which he thought was like a bulldog, but it was a pug.
It was just a pug, which is just awful.
Which he pointed a rifle at because it wasn't running fast enough.
Because he thought that would motivate it.
Yeah, because dogs understand the concept of rifles.
Well, some of them do. Hunting dogs. He kills some drug dealers. He kills the Colombian drug lord's man. He's perfectly fine killing people.
Well, yeah, look at his face.
I'd rather not. And then he gets back with the drug dealer. He brings the drug dealer back. And that's his...
He's very nonchalant about it, too.
It doesn't really explain... He kills everyone and steals the guy's jet and breaks it back.
He steals a man. Without that man's consent.
But both the comic and the movie do... They end up pretty similar with an attack on a mountain base.
Is that where Flid comes from? Because that's not spelled correctly there. In England, Flid is a... I don't know if I'm using this correctly, colloquialism for, retard.
What's thalidomide, isn't it? With a
Yeah,
TH?
it's thalidomide. So I'm wondering if that's what that is. It's just wrong, or if it's something else entirely.
Maybe.
We also like the word Mong,
Sure you do.
as in mongoloid.
No, I got it.
I love the word Mong. It's very fun to call my brother a Mong.
I'm sure
And my
he
mom.
appreciates that.
He's a dick. He doesn't have a sense of humor. I watch movies. It's Lars von Trier. Wait, no, Trier.
He's not a pie.
Oh my god, he loves that. He also is a racist, I think. He has a movie called E2 Mama Tambien, but he refuses to pronounce it correctly, so he always says Y2 Mama Tambien.
Are you talking about your brother or Lars von Trier?
My brother.
Okay.
The pie? So yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
So, both the movie and the comic end in a big
Or like Lars von Pyre.
mountain attack on a mountain base, and one of the Kingsman Secret Service people having to go up in a rickety robot suit
That was terrifying.
with a weather balloon.
That was uncomfortable for me to watch.
You don't like heights?
I don't like heights, weirdly.
To shoot down one of the satellites as a backup plan, which in both cases doesn't work. Comic and movie.
Why not? Oh, okay. I thought you meant the logistics of it don't work.
No, it should work. In the comic, there's just no satellite there. They were in the wrong spot, and so the person falls, probably to their death.
They didn't have a name, so who cares?
And in the movie, they get they knock out one of the satellites, but then Samuel L. Jackson.
Thank you.
Gets a new satellite right away, pretty quickly.
Yeah, he borrows it from somebody else. He's like, hey man, I
rich.
gotta complete my uplink display, so you can give me a satellite, please. My name's Samuel Jackson. I'm a star of stage and screen.
I approve of this method.
Does he do plays? I approve of this method regarding satellite.
And this was another part that I wish they had done in the movie, much like the Mark Hamill scene at the beginning, was that the first part of the plan in the comic when they get to the mountain base, the secret evil lair, is that they free all the celebrities that the bad guy has taken captive and give them guns and let them fight alongside them.
Instead, they just straight up murder all of the dignitaries.
Yeah.
But they're also bad guys. They're there by choice.
No, but they reverse the signal so that anyone with the chip will get killed. So it's not like they just go around shooting the world leaders. It's just
commit, a partial genocide.
This is how we have to stop it. So this is how it's going to work.
Except for that princess who lets Eggsy do butt stuff.
Yeah, because she didn't have a chip in her head because she.
Plus, then it would be necrophilia.
She'd still be warm.
Yeah, I heard from a mortician that the butthole is the last thing to go cold. I'm sorry.
Won't be going to that mortician anymore.
I wouldn't.
And if I remember correctly, other than a brief cameo, essentially, by David Beckham at the end, I think the one celebrity they show appears to be Pierce Brosnan.
Probably.
Let's see. Oh yeah, they say he played James Bond.
He did play James Bond,
and he does look like Pierce Brosnan.
Why wouldn't he? He's
British. They give him an Uzi and just let him go wild.
Go crazy, Pierce.
Yeah.
Finally, I've always wanted to kill.
And in the movie, Valentine is able to activate his angry signal.
Yeah, I loved that scene where it plays. What's the song called?
I forget the.
Give It Up by Casey and the Sunshine Band.
That's right.
While people are murdering each other, it works very well.
Music video for which has some really creepy vibes.
The music video is more murdery than the people murdering each other to that song in the movie. Casey looks like a serial killer. He makes unwavering eye contact with you while he's just jaunting about.
What should I name my band so people don't suspect me of murder?
So people know that I'm fun.
Sunshine. People like Sunshine.
Sunshine Band. Casey and the Sunshine Band. I sent that to somebody. They were very surprised to find out that Casey of Casey and the Sunshine Band was white.
Yeah, did you also know that KC stands for Killer Clown? It would explain a lot.
He's been, I can't remember his name. He's been that guy this whole time.
John Wayne Gacy?
John Wayne Gacy and the Sunshine Band.
If there hasn't been, like, some sort of
mashup,
insane clown posse cover band, like, someone who only does covers of Casey and the Sunshine Band songs as the Insane Clown Posse, called John Wayne Gacy and the Sunshine Band.
We could do it.
Then there should be.
Just need to learn how to do that little jaunt he does,
and
where he flitters from one side of the screen to the next,
and give up all of our dignity.
Yeah, okay, so I really like that scene. I thought the music worked really well with it, especially when Eggsy was fighting Gazelle to the music and all the disco lights were going on. But that also kills the chance of that being a fight scene in a Batman movie. Because imagine Batman fighting the Joker in like an abandoned discotheque with all like the disco lights going on and that song playing. That would be amazing.
Could be. Give it a few years and people will forget.
That's true. Or maybe just a different song, but that exact scenario.
People just won't care as much.
But I feel like that song worked really well for like fighting.
There's lots of songs out there. I'm sure they can find another one.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the comic, he never gets to carry out his plan. They, I guess, reverse the polarity is the kind of terminology I would expect they use.
That's like those. Yeah, I'm assuming that's like the sci-fi equivalent of like Speed Force or midichlorians. Yeah, it's just a catch-all answer.
Just reverse the polarity.
Reverse polarity, get through the wormhole.
So when the signal goes out, it's like a love signal, and everyone just starts banging.
Oh yeah, that must be weird.
I guess it I don't think it lasts very long.
So imagine halfway through.
It takes 19 minutes. The signal, like they weren't able to change the time. So all you see is people around the world just making out with each other. But
the implication.
19 minutes is plenty of time for that to escalate.
Maybe it makes them kiss each other, but they're unable to have erections because all the blood is in their lips.
Or it drives them to want to have sex, but it makes them forget how to take off their clothes.
Makes them forget what sex means.
So I'd say for both the comic and the movie, there are some like unexplored consequences of these signals going out. Because
I'm sure a lot of people in the hospital died because the nurses and doctors were all banging each other.
Yeah, potentially. Also, just there's probably going to be a big baby boom, which is the opposite of what the bad guy wanted.
Oh yeah, and then the world does end in the sequel.
Yeah, but because they sent out that signal, it actually would have been fine. But now that there's another couple of billion of babies all at once,
maybe there's world government-sponsored abortions after that.
So we decided that abortions are okay now.
For the next 6 months,
we agree on this.
Get your fill.
And in the movie, it's the opposite. Like it's 19 minutes. Well, I guess they don't get the whole 19 minutes.
It's like as long as Samuel L. Jackson has his hand on the table, then it's going. But if he takes his hand off of it, then it stops. Like immediately. So like we keep seeing Eggsy's mom, and she's like, "Oh, what am I doing?"
Well, I don't actually want to kill my baby.
Except, yes, I do.
But
and
like,
then it starts again.
So it's probably a couple minutes altogether that the signal goes out.
Yeah,
like, that's enough that because Eggsy was able to get his mom or his little sister safe from his mom by warning them ahead of time. Almost everyone else in the world did not get that warning. So,
also, how was she planning to get the kid out afterwards if she hadn't broken the door down when she was in a rage-fueled
just wait for the
mode?
Baby to grow up and unlock the door? But, yeah, a lot of other people, the other 7 billion minus 1 people in the world didn't get that warning, so anyone who was around a baby killed that baby.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
big time.
All of the babies are dead.
Do you know how easy it is to kill a baby?
Tell me.
Like they probably killed a few babies.
You sure? Because they're kind of bouncy. Like they're really.
I mean, you can just tear through those like
flexible.
tissue paper.
I hear they bounce if you drop them. Like, babies are the only perfectly elastic substance, and if you drop them, they bounce right up to the same height.
Also, really old people.
Well, it's kind of 50-50 with them. Either they bounce or they shatter.
No, sorry. What I mean is, like when you hold their skin and throw them off a bridge, there's like a good amount of elasticity.
I thought you were just going to say, also, all the old people are dead, because they probably are in the movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Anyone who is not, like, more physically fit than the people around them is probably dead.
Also, all the old people would definitely be dead because they wouldn't stop. They'd be continuing that war flashback.
Yeah, anyone with PTSD is gonna snap right then. Yeah, but no, because with the church scene, we see that people are going like all out to kill each other, like not just kind of softly punching each other or doing a little strangling. Like,
oh, what about like they should have shown us like what's happening in like karate dojos? That would look badass.
See, that's the one place where it might actually be a fair fight for everyone involved.
Well, unless it's like a kids class and there's like the adult trainer.
Well, then he's just going around clotheslining them and kicking them in the face.
I don't think clotheslining is a karate maneuver.
Yeah, I don't think everyone's thinking rationally when they...
yeah, but karate gets in your soul.
When they get the... Karate here. Karate here.
Karate never in here.
Never here. Point is, probably a couple billion people died. Like, conservatively.
Yeah.
Which
plus there's people that were like, in the ocean, they probably just drowned. They weren't thinking swim, they were thinking fight.
Maybe. Do we see any...
We saw a beach, but we only saw people on the beach fighting each other.
Yeah, I was going to say, do people show signs of aggression just towards other people, or towards other living things?
Or just in general. Like if someone was just sitting alone, like a hermit. But why would he have a cell phone?
That's true. In the movie, it's only with cell phones.
Maybe hermits have cell phones for like boob pictures and stuff.
Yeah, or like a tablet.
Yeah, so they can read their manga.
Yeah, as hermits do.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the comic, they send out a love signal instead, which is probably going to lead to a baby boom.
And an abortion boom.
An abortion boom, but still probably more global warming. And, yeah, in the movie, Eggsy just... Well, he kills the bad guy both times. In the movie, it's more to stop him from killing everybody. And in the comic, it's more... Revenge, because...
killed his uncle.
He killed his uncle and or mentor.
He killed him right in the face.
I mean, it probably wasn't very painful.
Have you ever been shot in the face?
Once.
But that was a long time ago.
I don't like to think about it.
Because you can't, physically.
And so yeah, and the comic ends with just him gearing up for another mission. Whereas the movie ends with him doing the Princess of Denmark, I want to say, in the butt. And that's the end of the story. And, you know, like in the comic, the bad guy is a 23-year-old white guy, and in the movie, it's Samuel L. Jackson.
With a hat. An array of hats.
That's the thing. Like, I don't think there's any proof in the movie that Samuel L. Jackson isn't playing a 23-year-old person. Like, they don't say, you know, he got his millions 40 years ago when he was younger. Like,
I mean, he doesn't look old. He's Samuel Jackson, but
he looks pretty old.
I would believe you if you told me he was in his 40s or 50s.
Or his 20s.
I wouldn't believe that.
Yep, I'm just saying, maybe that was what they told him, like, we're casting a 20-something-year-old character.
And he's like, yeah, man, I can play that.
Samuel L. Jackson wants to try out. All right.
Why not? We'll get a story out of it at least. And then they wake up 6 months later and the movie's done. They're like, what happened?
I think, let's see, one of the less interesting bits of trivia I found out was that...
Why would you tell us less interesting ones?
Because I'm trying to end on a low note. Was that Matthew Vaughn...
Your sex life. Damn it.
Nice try.
Thank you.
Was that Matthew Vaughn, who directed the movie and also directed Kick-Ass, right?
Yeah, the first one.
Just the first one?
Mm-hmm.
So he had already worked with... As far as Mark Millar comics. Had done Kick-Ass already, and then he co-plotted this comic, Secret Service, before directing the movie. So this comic really was just like a first draft of a screenplay, essentially.
I think they're doing Superior also. I want to say that he's doing Superior.
But he didn't co-plot that.
He didn't.
He actually could have, and I wouldn't have known. I was just...
Exactly. Was his name in the comic? I don't remember that.
I don't know. That was one of the first Mark Millar comics I read, I think.
It's real good.
On your recommendation, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the movie better, I'd say.
Yeah, me too.
Mark Millar's real good at writing comics for
The
movies.
comic is like $13, so just go read it. It's a good comic, but the movie is very good too.
It's fine. It's better if you haven't read the movie, or watched the movie, or read the movie. But once you have seen the movie, it's like... Because the plot is almost exactly the same, so you can see where... Okay, clearly this translated to this, but it's just like little bits of it where the pacing just isn't as good.
Also, there's very, very many errors in the lettering.
Yeah. I just keep noticing that more and more in every comic I read. It's like they've got editors. That's these people's jobs.
Yeah, that's their entire job.
All you have to do is read through it and notice where it's wrong.
Like, there's at least 3 people that should be reading through it before it's put to print. There's the letterer who does it, there's the editor who edits it and checks for errors, and there's the writer who can be like, oh, by the way, this is wrong. Who
also, I guess I don't know how lettering works exactly, but I would assume that the writer typed up something and then it's just being copy-pasted.
Yeah, that's worse. Because if I saw that, I'd be like, hey, Mark, I feel like you didn't mean this, so don't change my work.
No, but in a Scottish accent.
Yeah, that was just like a general evil guy accent, like Skeletor, but less fanciful. Nah, don't change my work, Beastman. Bring me He-Man.
Yeah. I don't know. If you're a Mark Millar fan, I'd suggest the comic, but otherwise I would just say the movie.
The movie is very good.
Movie is great. And they're making a sequel, right?
Yeah. They're saying Julianne Moore might be up for the villain role.
I like her. She's good.
It's fun.
So, that's Secret Service.
Yeah, go watch it.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
You've
Put
probably
on
already seen
subtitles, though, so it's like you're reading.
And don't watch the screen.
Yeah, just watch the words.
Read it. Maybe listen to it. Ignore the visuals. Don't actually.
They can only hurt you.
Alright. Thanks for listening.